Hi, folks. Back again here with another quick little message. I like to make sure I do these weekly just to stay up to date. Students should be working on Module 3 of the course. Talked a little bit about that last week. I'm not going to get into that. There's one folder in here that I haven't really talked about yet, and I wanted to spend some time to do this. I've had some emails and some other communications with a bunch of parents and other people that have had some questions, especially in regards to getting licensing. So I wanted to kind of direct your attention onto Schoology here to this resources page. I was actually just at a driver ed seminar last week, and there was a document that's kind of a newer document that they just put out by the state. And the gentleman who was in charge of creating it was there, and he was speaking about it. And I wanted to kind of get your attention on that. So, first of all, in this resources folder, the driver's manual is found here. They don't do printed copies anymore. So everything is digital, which I don't like. I like a paper book personally, but the driver's manual is found online here. It's a great place to go if you need that. The learner's permit application is found here. The parent consent form for getting a learner's permit is here. And once a learner's permit's obtained and they actually are going for their actual driver's test, this is a link that you could click on that would get you to where you would actually make that reservation, which I suggest doing really early in the learner's permit process. That way you don't have to wait more than 6 months if necessary. And then this is the certification form, which basically says that your son or daughter has accumulated at least 65 hours of practice driving. This website, this Pennsylvania Teaching Driving website, really, really well done. I know PennDOT especially doesn't really get a lot of recognition for doing good things, but this driving website is actually a pretty good one. So if you haven't been there, they have a lot of resources, not only for new drivers, but for those who are helping new drivers. And that's what I want to make note of here. It's this parent supervised driver ed program. And if you click on that, let me get this reduced. If you click here, this is a program that's set up. Again, it was done by PennDOT with the help of State Farm. And I think they're actually changing to AAA is going to be the big sponsor in the newer form of this coming up here. But there is an app that's pretty well done, again, by State Farm. You don't have to have State Farm to be able to use it, but it helps track the amount of hours that's teens have been driving. It tells you what time of day. I believe this one, if it's not this one, there's some other ones out there that actually have a GPS tracking that'll show the route and things like that. So if you're looking for a tracking device other than just writing everything down pen and pencil, this is a really good one to use. I'd be willing to bet some of you have probably used that if you have a young driver. Once you get into this, if I can actually get to the beginning here we go. This table of contents is what I wanted to kind of bring to your attention. Ooh, there we go. This is essentially like a curriculum that's been written for parents on how to teach young drivers the skills necessary for driving. And if you look here, it talks about all these different skills that are going on here. And I'm not going to show you every page of this, but you can see how it's kind of brought up here and the order that it recommends this. Teaching young kids to drive is really challenging. Right? Some of you have had that battle before, and we tend to have a lot of kind of friction between new driver and whoever's helping. So this is a program that does a really nice job of kind of describing basics of driving. And if you follow this, in my opinion, I think there's some really, really good stuff that you can pick up from it. And there's kind of some activities, if you want to call them that, that you should be doing. And you can see like this one here tells you where you should do it, a large level, mostly empty area. So like a school parking lot would be a good place for that. So there's some things here that, again, if you haven't seen this publication or you're not really sure what to do, this is a good starting point. I wanted to bring this to your attention again. I met with a gentleman who kind of created this, and he took us through it. And I really do think it's a great publication that's out there. I mentioned this with you the last video about this IPDE process, and they talk all about this. All right, so if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. Again, I just wanted to bring this to your attention so that you know it's available. And again, if you go into our course page, it's down here in this resources folder. If you wanted to, you could just search for it as well on the PA Department of Transportation website. Please help make sure students are getting up to date here. Again, we're at about the 1 month out point from the end of the marking period. Students should be on Module 3 out of a total of 4 modules for this marking period. Once they finish that 4th module, they're done until the 4th marking period, where there will be 5 more modules to complete. That's it. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. And I'll probably be back next week. See ya.